Hello ladies and gents, my name is Adam, Ad8m, member of the Underbase, member of the AA staff, and currently member of a very bland hotel room. Thanks to the new job, this is my life at the moment. So I'm busy here doing weird banking work. Amy is busy in the States raising her clan of ninja, and Matt's on tour with Kylie, so all the Underbase are busy. I thought I would do this quick video, and hang on a second, let me just cover up myself in the phone. There we go. I thought I'd do this video as my guide to AA, because I did one of these a couple of years ago and it got some good feedback. I know there are a lot of good AA videos out there at the moment. In fact, I encourage you to watch them all, because everyone has their own viewpoint on what makes AA special. However, because I'm involved in AA, I know there are a couple of little things that maybe people don't realise about this year. So there will be some genuine information in this, okay? Right, let's go through some basic facts. Because let's face it, this is the last AA, as you're aware, which means there's actually going to be more first-timers at this convention than any other year. If anything, this might be the last year, but it's almost the year of the first-time attendee. So have to put that information out there. So, Auto Assembly, 21st to 23rd of August, Birmingham Hilton Metropole. Tickets are available. That's weekend and day tickets. The only difference, the only important thing about tickets is that the Saturday night event is only open to weekend ticket holders. So don't buy a Saturday day ticket and think you can just, turn up to the nighttime events. So I'm stuttering over stuff. You see, this is what happens when you're not podcasting on audio. I can't hide any of my mistakes. I'm terrible. Right, tickets available. There are no hotel rooms available at the Hilton. Now, these sold out pretty quickly. However, if you do want to get to Birmingham, if you're worried about finding a hotel room, especially at this sort of time, drop me a mail on the Underbase, okay? Just ping the Underbase Facebook and go, Adam, I need to find a hotel room. Can you give me a link? And I'll send you 2 or 3 links to 2 or 3 sites that can help you find somewhere, okay? And you can get a pretty good deal. And that means as well that if you get a good saving, it will more than cover the cost of any taxi. So don't worry about it. Is it the last AA? Yes, it is. I mean, I think this is pretty obvious by now. The Plums, who've been in charge of AA, it's their baby. They want to wrap it up for various very good reasons as well. Lots to do with health and the amount of effort that they're putting in. And so it's up to us to kind of make it the best year for them, really. And give it a good send-off. And no, I know there's something been announced for next year, TF Nation. I know there's a website out and people are getting excited about it. I do know that there is nothing in terms of organisation with the Plums. There's nothing connecting them to AA. So it's a different beast. I wouldn't be surprised if people who volunteer at one volunteer at another. I wouldn't be surprised if traders from one are traders at another. And I'd really hope that all the community who go to one will go to the other. But they are different entities. And let's face it, let's focus on AA, okay? Because that's the important thing right now. Right, so hotel information. Couple of things here, and this is for some of you people who are coming back and think you know everything. Firstly, AA is in a different part of the hotel this year. So most people will come into the reception at the Hilton. And if you've been before, you know that Swerves is opposite, and the hall, the toys, everything else is just there. This year, we're at the back of the Hilton. Okay, where people sort of walk through when they go to the NEC and back. So you senior members will know exactly where I mean. But for first timers, don't worry. Just when you pull in, you'll pull into reception if you're in by taxi, or if you're walking from the NEC, you'll walk through the back and AA will be there. But if you're coming into reception, there will be not only the reception, but right opposite, there will be our AA information desk. Staffed with men and women all wearing red t-shirts, AA on it, bright and bold. Come over to us. You can ask us anything, where it is, where to go. Hey, we'll even introduce you around as well if you're new to AA. Seriously, we'll do that. We did that last year. If you want to meet people in the bar and you don't know how to break the ice, we will introduce you to people that we trust who are really good, you know, fun people, break the ice, and before you know it, you're having the time of your life. So, I mentioned swerves there. Now, swerves, for those of you who don't know, was a little thing that we did with the hotel. It was a way that the hotel provided decent, affordable food, the sort of food that you would get at a convention, and gave us a sort of little area as well to eat it in. And it wasn't the sort of food, you know, it wasn't the high-priced food that you would get at the Hilton, because the Hilton is a 4-star. I mean, it is the most amazing place. But we can understand that that price point is not to everyone's tastes. And there's plastic, you know, we need to buy plastic. So Swerves isn't there this year because we've moved rooms, we've moved areas, and another convention, I'll mention later, has that room. So instead, the hotel's doing a thing called street food. It's basically takeaway food. So portable food, it'll be in little boxes. We don't know exactly what it is. It's usually a range. We've seen at other conventions when we've gone to the hotel that they've done similar things. It means that you can just grab some food, walk around with it, sit down, go to a bar. You can go to our bar. I'll tell you about that in a sec. Or you can sit down in the main area and just eat away. All I'd say is because it is more portable, the temptation will be to carry it around and carry it into the hall. That's fine. But if we hear reports from Kapow that Andy's got pizza all over his Transformers and tacos are flying over David Tree's merchandise, then we will ban it. Okay, so just be sensible with the food. As you can tell, I'm turning into my Ad8m's character now, just ordering people around. Don't do that. Right, what next? Okay, yeah, there was going to be a big retail centre opening. Most of you don't even know this probably, but there was going to be something huge opening just in time for AA. Big retail centre, new development, lots of restaurants, a cinema, everything. If you've not known before, as soon as you walk out the NEC, you'll see it. I mean, it's huge and it's just come up in the last year. It's not ready just yet, which is a shame. Ironically, it's going to be ready for the guys when they do TFN next year, but not for us. So good luck to them. Anything else? Yes, travel. I've done a video on this phone of me going from International to the Hilton. How you get there, how you walk there. I will stick this up on the site. Okay. Apologies. Time has just been against me. Time, health, you name it. So, but I will put something up, I promise. Okay. And the final thing as well is the cash machines. Everyone knows this who've been before. The cash machines at the Hilton, there is a small charge for using them. Therefore, if you are smart enough and have enough willpower to take all your money with you in advance, keep it in a nice big fat safe wallet somewhere and just spend it sparingly, that's better than just taking little bits out of the hole in the wall in the Hilton and wasting money on charges. Okay, we don't want you to do that. Right, so on to first timers. Firstly, as a first timer, actually, let me just check. Sorry, so many things have gone wrong that I have to check. Yes, I am here. I'm cutting off my head. That's not a bad thing, though, considering the sheer volume of glare that you're getting. So let's just cover that up again. Right, first timers. First thing is, there are people still watching this going, do I go to AA? Do I take the leap? And I would say yes. AA is amazing. I mean, it's a wonderful social environment. I kid you not. I know on the forums, things can get a little bit tense, especially with viewpoints and, Rumble is red and all that. I mean, they still have that argument and people still get really angry about various things and people fly into forum rage and stuff. The best thing about AA is that when you meet those people face to face, you're no longer just anonymous people on an internet. You're people in a pub. You've bought a load of toys. You've got some of the most amazing stuff around you. You've got voice actors there. You've got artists there. You've got writers there. And that's just when you get to know people. And the friendships you make at AA last all year. I mean, with the traders, with various people, with first timers coming in and leaving with just a whole community around them. You'd be amazed just how good it is. Of course, some people would say, well, I'm shy. And to that, I would say, good, okay. If it's that tough, and you think all I would do at AA is go down into the hall, grab my stuff, and then go up to my hotel room. Do it. Do it, if only for the toys, because the bargains that you will get on the toys there make eBay just look like Harrods. It's just crazy. But whilst you're down there, maybe pluck up the courage just to say hi to that one YouTuber you follow, or that one Facebook person you like, or that one artist you like. Challenge yourself to do that, and trust me, it will accelerate. There we go. It will help you. There are people who have struggled when it comes to being social, have come to AA, have met groups of people, and have just come out of their shell. I kid you not. So give us a chance. That was a bit passionate, wasn't it? Volunteers. So volunteers are all in red. We wear red t-shirts, bunch of good guys and ladies and gents. We work hard all weekend. We are there to assist you. We are there to make sure that everybody is in the right area. We are checking passes, making sure that you're wearing them all the time. And yes, we will monitor the queues. We'll move people along if they're taking too much time with the guests, and I'll go into that in a bit. So there is an element where we do sort of run the rules, but at the same time, we're here to make the experience as easy for you as possible. If you have a problem with your hotel room and you're struggling to deal with the hotel for whatever reason, come to us. Don't fly off the handle. If there's someone annoying you, or there's someone that you really like but you haven't been able to go out and see them because it's too busy, let us know. We might be able to suggest something, okay? Last year, so much help. And we might even have an extra staff member this year, because I hear Mr. Spellos is returning, and he did man the information desk last year on a Friday, so don't be surprised if you see a shark on the info desk. Right, there's a couple of other things then. So I've mentioned the social side. Everyone has talked about the social side on their video, so I think I'll leave it at that. What I would say is just there's a balance. There's a balance between, especially with the guests, between being too shy and being too full on. So yeah, if James is free, or when you queue up for James, chat to him about stuff. Ask him questions. Ask him good questions. You know, stuff that is going to make him want to talk, not just yes and no answers. At the same time, don't discuss War and Peace with him. Don't ask him for 3 hours of talk or discussion or counselling or you name it, whatever. Okay, don't monopolise a guest's time, because it's precious to us to have them. It's also as well, their time is precious in terms of what they need to do, especially the artists. They are doing commissions, and we want everybody to see every guest, you know, and we want the guests as well to leave auto assembly going, that was great, and not, oh, thank God that's over. I really do have a cough. This could kill me. So, if I die doing this, by the way, you will feel guilty. In the same way as well, you know, I've mentioned the artists. The artists are going to be just hella busy this year. I mean, we announced Golby. Sorry. But Golby's a fan name. Everyone knows her as Golby. We announced her, I believe, earlier today at the time of recording, and I believe already her commission list is full. Griffiths' list is full. Nick's list, I think. Alex must have been full within seconds. So these guys are ram busy. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't stop for a quick chat, and they certainly will sign stuff, but, you know, just be aware of their time. You know, especially if one of them is busy doing something really important, you know, don't kind of stick your noggin in there and go, hello, because that might not go down too well. And yeah, okay, the other reason as well that we go to guests, especially the comic guests, is to get them to sign stuff. Now that's great if you have 1 or 2 items. And I always say as well, just bring 1 or 2, because what you can do is you can go up to them, and in that time you can ask them a question. You can find out something interesting about them, or try and ask them something that maybe they've not been asked before, an influence, whatever. Then give them whatever it is you want to sign. Now, by that point, they should know your name, and they should know enough about you to know that you're a half-decent person. So therefore, they're going to probably write something quite nice, and they'll personalise it. If you dump 10 to 20 items in front of them and go, "Can you sign that, please?" you're going to get a scribble. I mean, you're literally just going to get, like, their name. Nothing else. I don't know about you, I'm sorry. If I want a scribble on something, I can go to eBay and get that. But if I want something personalised, then I take the time, I take an issue that I really care about, and I get that signed. I know that people in different countries do different things. I know in the States people rock up with 10, 20, 30 items. Hello, transmissions. And go, "Oh, get all that signed." But you just, there's going to be like a bland signature on each comic. I mean, whatever. Same with the voice actors as well. Let's face it, the comic guests are busy, the voice actors are going to be frantically busy. And these are 2 folks who are new to auto assembly. So I say, just good questions, go up, have a chat. Don't stay there, don't stay there for hours. And also as well, if they need to take a break, they will let a member of the volunteers know, and they'll take a quick break. Doesn't mean they're running out of the hotel and going off and flying out the country. It means that they're just taking a break. So hang in there and they'll be back. Again, we want the voice actors to leave AA with a positive impression of what we do. Now, sometimes that attention can go a little bit too far. I've mentioned about the people sometimes monopolising time. Last year, I think James was off for like a couple of hours with certain people, and although it was great of him to do that, it just meant everyone else was sort of stood around going, "We don't get to chat to him." But last year as well, there seemed to be a few jokes that kind of got out of hand. The first thing was that everyone has, like the artists and the voice actors have little just pieces of paper with their name on their desks. And people have started defacing those. It's not really nice if you're the artist or you're the writer and you come to your desk and people have defaced it. It kind of makes us look like immature school kids. So maybe don't do that, especially if you're a fan. Also as well, last year, one of the artists finished his workshop and he had a little bit of art left on one of the sketch boards. Somebody then went and doctored one of those bits, which was very much this artist's work, doctored it to be rude, then scribbled the artist's name, took a picture, and then posted that on the web going, "Yeah, this artist drew something rude." Now, the artist will tell you, if you work for a company like IDW, which is dealing with a licensed property, the owners of that licensed property, i.e. Hasbro, actually keep a very close eye on what the artists who work for them do. That artist got in an awful lot of trouble for something that wasn't his. And it took senior people and people at IDW who we really don't want to antagonize, and we certainly don't want to owe a favor to vouch for us that it was just somebody being stupid and not the artists themselves. Okay, so please be wary, okay? Okay, jokes are always good. We have huge jokes and laughs with the voice actors and with the comic guests, but don't take it too far. Podcasts. I hope this isn't going on too long. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. Podcasts. I'm a member of the Underbase, as you know. And last year we didn't record a single interview at AA. I think, no, we didn't. Because we knew that the artists were so busy. And because there was a new rule in place that meant during the convention, you couldn't have an artist do a podcast or a writer do a podcast, because it was taking them away from the convention. The artists are busy during the day, meeting people and signing and doing stuff. And during the evening, they're doing all their commissions. Likewise as well, you've got the voice actors who are busy all the time. James is frantically busy all the time, juggling all sorts of stuff. So last year, we had one of the guests disappear off for a couple of hours during the day because a podcast had decided that it had to interview them. We also had another one as well come up to me and berate me for not allowing them to take the artists that they wanted for the interviews. Their response, by the way, to me was, do you know who I am? Do you know how important and popular we are? My response to them was, I don't give a damn. I work for AA and we are looking after 900 people, not you and your show. So screw you. So yeah, if you do want to interview or podcast with the guests, certainly not during convention time. If it's the evening and they are free, I mean like they're the ones who are pushing to do it, then great. But if we hear anything about people sort of shoehorning or pushing artists into particular interviews for long lengths of time, then we will pass all that information on to TFN. Because, hey, if it makes it difficult for us, we want to make sure that they don't have the same problems. See, now you're scared. Right, panels. When it comes to a panel, ask a good question. Ask a really good question. You have no idea the amount of kudos that you can get from asking a decent question. Well, actually you can, because you've been in the audience when someone's asked a real humdinger of a question. And it's like, yeah. See, now James Roberts is sweating. Now Alex has stopped smiling. He's got to think about this one. A couple of years ago, there was the IDW talent panel, and it was the last question. It was really important, and loads of people had their hands up. Who was Dave going to pick? And he picked one guy, and we were like, oh, this has got to be a good question. And the guy stood up and said something like, James Roberts, what is your favourite Beast Wars character? James hasn't really got an interest in Beast Wars, which you can kind of tell because he's never actually done much in the way of Beast Wars stuff. Also, as well, Nick isn't doing anything in relation to Beast Wars at the moment, nor is Alex, nor is James. Doesn't really have anything to do with IDW at the moment. And you could just hear the whole hall just groan with, ugh. And it's not a bad question to ask James if he's on his own, but if there's a whole hall of people, have a think about what would be the most entertaining question to ask. Get creative. Go on, don't be afraid. Trust me, if you ask a good question, not only do you look good, but it means when you go and speak to the artist afterwards, when you get that comic signed, suddenly they've got that extra level of interest in you because you've asked them something that challenges them. There are workshops, there are fan workshops, there are cosplay workshops, there is a YouTube thing going on. There's stuff, okay? I'm not going to lie. Even though I'm involved in AA this year, I've not been privy to any of the event schedule. And to be honest, I'm sorry. I am genuinely sorry about that and a few other things. It should have been out to you way, way earlier. It will be up. When it's up, we're going to direct people to it. Just go to everyone. Seriously, go around the hall, get all your stuff. Everyone's going to be in the bar, and let's face it, after 6, 7 o'clock at night, everyone will be in the bar. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. Bar. So in the meantime, why don't you watch Alex as he talks about his art? Watch Andrew as he talks about his art. Speak James as he talks about writing. Simon as he talks about his massive amount of history with the brand. The workshops are golden opportunities to learn more. And also as well, if you don't want to raise your hand in that big hall, you know I said about the big panels, and people do, they're a bit nervous, they don't want to do that. How about if there's like 20 or 30 of you in a room, and it's nice and quiet, and most people know each other, and it's not like you're on show in front of anyone else. You'll find that a lot of people ask loads of questions, good questions, in those workshops, because that's small enough for them to feel comfortable asking them. Do it. I would. I have done. And if I see you chickening out, I will push you into doing it. There will be a cosplay workshop. It will be run by Miss Tori and Miss Izza, Two wonderful, wonderful people who work for AA. So go along and be amazed. To be honest, the cosplayers at AA are just, I'm just in awe of them. They just do a fantastic job. And we always say this as well, maybe behind the scenes, we don't say it in front of too many other people, but it honestly does not matter if you've put something together for the first time, or if you do this for every con. You're cosplaying, so you're all cosplayers, so you're all worthy of praise. It's a good laugh as well. Fan sales table is up. There are details on the website. Please be aware, if there are hundreds of people all trying to sell stuff, then it will get very, very busy. But the guys who work... The guys who work the fan sales table deserve a bit of thanks as well, because they work their socks off. Right, so final thing in terms of a new first-timer information, in terms of general stuff, is to introduce you to somebody that maybe you've seen before. You established AAs, but you've probably not noticed, and certainly you first-timers won't have a clue about. It's a guy called Nick Hardy. Now, Nick is a photographer. He's a really good photographer, actually. Yep, I'm still there. Right. He's an amazing photographer, and he does an awful lot of art. And, you know, he covers the full range. And there are a lot of people, people like myself, who are ex-media in one way, shape or form. And a lot of us look at Nick's work and are just in awe of what he does. Now, one of the things he did last year was that he set up a little area and he was taking like profile pictures. Now, I know this sounds dumb, but you imagine, okay, a profile picture where somebody is lighting you to make you look as good as possible, is positioning you to look as good as possible, has the best kit, lighting equipment, background, everything, all designed to make you look 110%. And the best thing is, when you finish with it, you then put it up as a profile picture. And everyone's like, whoa, you look amazing. Oh, you look fantastic. And you're like, yeah, well, you know, I just threw it together. Because that's what people do. So last year, he did this for about 10, 15 of us. I'm still using it as my profile picture. Everyone's used their picture from Nick. It's glorious, it's amazing, it's fantastic, and it's just the best way to get a picture, okay? I cannot recommend him enough. Now, this year he will be charging because he is a professional. And it's kind of really important that people realise this, because we don't want to take advantage of Nick, because he is a rare talent, and we're lucky to have him. So, if you see him, okay, go up, have a chat, let him light you and take a picture, okay? See if you like it. But I guarantee it's worth doing. This is going to run on for ages, so I better keep moving here. Okay, first timers, what should you bring to AA? Okay, a couple of years ago I mentioned personal hygiene in a video. I know because in that video I also mentioned the likes of Tony Thrussell and other people that I talked about in a social sense. And funnily enough, as soon as I did that, people like Tony then started mentioning the personal hygiene as something they had a problem with. And within the last year or so, it's stopped being a joke or even like a kind of shocking thing that you mention. It's just been this thing that everyone states. So here's the deal. You run around in a convention, there's loads of people in the hall, you're going to get smelly. If you're based in the hotel, it's really easy to just do the whole day and then just run into the night, still wearing the same stuff and not even thinking anything of it. It's even tougher if you're, based somewhere else. If you're like coming in from town and you're spending the whole day running around and you don't want to go back to your hotel to change or freshen up. Problem is, by the evening, you stink. No doubt about it. And some people take that to an extra level. Because, it's, everyone can be a little bit pongy sometimes. But when those people then don't actually change their shirt overnight and the next day they're still wearing it, and then the next day... There was one person in particular a couple of years ago went from, I believe it was the Thursday night to the Monday morning, the same T-shirt. I'm not kidding. The stench on that guy was incredible. Okay, this is a social environment. Yeah, I know there are toys, I know there are artists, but this is all about a social environment where even if you're not like a crazy party animal, the best thing is that you can just chill out with your mates or chill out with new people that are becoming mates and have a good time. If you stink to hell, you're not going to do that. Okay, now, because I think no one has addressed this. What happens if you are a little bit uncomfortable, you don't want to go back to your hotel, but you need to freshen up? Just take some stuff with you. For a start, take a spare t-shirt, take a towel. You would take anyway a small selection of stuff if you're coming from a hotel anyway. So I would say take a small wash kit with you. If you know anyone at the Hilton, just say, hey, can I jump in the shower for a bit? I know it sounds silly, but a lot of people do that. And it's a good way for you to just freshen up. And boom, you're ready to go for the evening. Okay? And yeah, if you're really concerned and you've got the spare change of stuff, but you don't know anyone to lend you a hotel room, or no one will trust you because you've only just met them and they don't know why you're asking to jump in their shower, which does sound a little bit dodgy, come up to the information desk, okay? The volunteers, we will help you. We've had people crash in our rooms for like an hour when they've been really tired and they can't go back to their hotel for various reasons. We've had people just freshen up because they're a little bit hot and bothered, or they're feeling, like heat, which can be a bit of an issue in the hall. So yeah, just let us know. God, I'm rambling. Toiletry is covered. Okay, being social. Being social means being nice. It means not being an idiot, not being a dick, not being the sort of person that you wouldn't want to meet. Just leave any prejudices at the door. Come in with an open mind. Every year, AA, its fan base expands. The demographic between the amount of male attendees and the amount of female attendees is shifting so fast. You can see it visibly each year. It's changing. Demographics as a whole, every demographic is changing at AA, which is only a good thing. So if you've got a problem with anyone, any person, any sex, any orientation, any race, I don't want you there. Simple as that. There we go. Also as well, we have our dealers. Our dealers are the people that are stopping you from getting your prize item. Now, there's nothing wrong with maybe a little bit of bartering, especially if you know these people. And if it's the Sunday. But on a Saturday morning, don't start asking like a third of the price for something that you want and then complaining bitterly if you don't get it. Don't be sulky, don't be pouty. Also as well, don't be one of those people who goes online afterwards and moans because a particular trader did not cut his price by 50%. Because we see this every year with particular traders. And to be honest, the traders are traders, that's what they do. But the rest of us, notice the attendees who do this. And it doesn't reflect well on them. And if you're smart anyway, you would just get to know the trader, say, work the angle, get yourself a bargain that way. It's far more satisfying when you do that anyway. And also, these traders are our friends. We've known most of these guys for years, especially the volunteers. We deal with them year in, year out. So it's worth getting to know these guys, because if you don't have something, like if Kapow don't have something left at the table at the end of the weekend and you wanted it, well, be polite, be gracious, have a chat, and then maybe 6 months down the line, maybe they'll have some more stock in. And because you've been so nice and maybe had a word with Andy, he will then put you in touch and boom, you can buy your stuff. Okay, that's what happens. That's pretty much it. So there's a couple of final things, kind of hopes and fears as well. The hope is that everyone has a positive time, that everyone is the best they can be, which I know sounds really preachy, but there was talk at one point of this being the last AA and this being the end of everything, and we can do what we want and blah blah blah. And a couple of us involved in running AA were a little bit worried that meant that people were going to start taking the mick. Politeness, please. Be nice to the staff because they deal with hundreds of conventions a year. I mean, we're talking nerddom, we're talking TV shows, we're talking furries, we're talking business, banks, fitness, you name it, they deal with it. They don't care that it's the last AA. It's just their workplace. You wouldn't like someone, or you don't like it when someone comes into your work and acts like a dick. So don't be like that to them. And also, if you have a problem, again, be polite. Far easier to get that problem solved by being polite. And I have to say as well, last year, so much good feedback from the hotel staff about the way that our attendees acted. And it works in our favour. Again, this is the sort of stuff that we will hopefully carry over so that when these other guys take over, they have something positive to work with. Also as well, last year we had QuilterCon. Yes, for you newcomers, we had a quilt convention last year at the same time as us, and it was great. There was a little bit of to and fro between us and the quilters, even though they were 3 times most people's age, mostly my age. This year we got something different. This year, and I'm just going to make sure I'm here, there we go. This year, we don't know exactly what it is, but we believe it is a faith-based convention. Now, I'm a pretty decent guy, I like to think. And the volunteers are really nice people as well. We're laid back, we're chilled. We will come down on you like a ton of bricks if anyone starts kicking off at anyone else because of faith. Okay? If there is a convention there and it's based on a belief that you don't hold, well then you don't hold with it. It is not your excuse to go up and start poking them or berating them or winding them up. Okay, we're better than that. Now, we don't know the full details of this. Okay, the hotel naturally don't give us all the details because they just want to respect the other convention's privacy. But if there is something there and it is something that is not to your taste, then just don't focus on it, okay? We've got a whole hall full of Transformers. We've got a football field size worth of Transformers. I think that's more important. One final thing, and it's the only thing I've always wanted to say. Most of you will have turned off by now anyway, but when you consider a convention, when you consider any kind of Transformers convention, and, you know, I'm talking about some of the smaller ones that I've gone to, some of the old ones from the 90s and the 2000s that are no longer with us. We've got Rollout, you've got some of the meets, and of course you've got AA. One thing that people always forget, and it's worth noting moving forward, is that all of these conventions work on a year-to-year basis. So when they get the tickets in, okay, and people buy the tickets, it pays for the year. Imagine you're with a group of mates. Imagine there's 10 of you and you're going out in 2 weeks' time and somebody says, hey, if we all chip in £2 now, I can get the barman at this place to order all the booze in advance, pay for it, and the whole night is ours. £2 each, everything sorted. Boom. What happens? Well, you get to the night and 3 or 4 of you just haven't bothered paying that £2 because you think, well, I'll pay at the last minute. And you get there and realise because everyone hadn't paid, it meant that the barman didn't have all the money, which meant he didn't get the order in, which means none of you get the order. So all of you miss out. That's the saddest thing about AA. I suppose it's the fear that I've had. It's the fear for this year as well, is that a lot of people have booked late. And we've got loads of people coming, but loads of people have booked late, which means that we don't have the opportunity to get all the stuff in place that we normally would because people pay late. And when you consider the amount that people pay on travel, which is usually more than a ticket, hotel, which is easily more than a ticket, and the toys themselves, more than a ticket, the food, pretty much more than a ticket. So many aspects are more than the actual ticket. And yet, without that ticket being bought, AA can't do what it wants to do, which is get you stuff. So if you've bought late for this year, please consider in future, whether it be rollout, whether it be one of the Comic Cons, whether it be this TF Nation, get your ticket in early. It's only a small part of the overall expense anyway, and it allows them to get the full range of people. And then as well, once you've got your ticket, you then actually do have a right to say, what guests are you getting in? I would like this guest. And not what we get at the moment, which is like one guy phoning me out going, gave me a list of 10 guests that he wanted. 10 guests. He hadn't bought his ticket. He was sure that 3 or 4 of his mates could come and would be really interested in seeing this one guest. But he would like all 10 of these guests there. And yeah, he was just like, why haven't you done this? Well, you kind of already set yourself up there. Okay, we can only do what we can with the ticket money that is ours. So there we go. Right. I've ranted for a long time. Oh my God, it's a long time. Like 40 odd minutes. There's no way you guys are actually going to stay for all of this. But still, thank you if you have. You'll see me at AA. I will be one of the guys wearing the red t-shirt. I don't know what's happening with this, so don't worry. It might be trimmed back. It might be handlebar. It might be something. It will be tamed, so don't be scared. And do come up to us. If you've ever listened to the Underbase, if you've enjoyed Matt's stuff, if you've enjoyed Amy's stuff, if you've listened to Dave Wallace or to Andy Cobra Commander or to Mikey, or to any of the guys as well on both the Underbase or the Moonbase too. Or yeah, even if you've enjoyed me farting around with the classics, come up and say hi. Because we don't know what our listeners all look like. We know our mates, but we don't know what the rest of you guys look like. And frankly, nothing is more pleasing just to hear feedback from people. Seriously. And this might be the last time that we all get together. I mean, it might be the last time for a while that the Underbase, the main core people get together. So it's a good chance for us all to have a little chat. So there we go. Anyway, I finally made it to the end of one of these. My goodness, lightning's probably going to strike me before I finish editing. But until then, you take care. I'll see you at AA and be good. And switch off.